Once upon a time, in a magical kingdom under the sea, there lived a group of mermaids who lived in harmony with the creatures of the ocean. One day, a rainbow appeared in the sky, and it was said that whoever finds the end of the rainbow would be granted a wish. The mermaids were curious and decided to follow the rainbow to find its end. They swam and swam until they reached a dark and deep part of the ocean, where they encountered a monster. The monster was known to be ferocious and had been terrorizing the underwater kingdom for as long as anyone could remember. The mermaids tried to swim away, but the monster blocked their path. Suddenly, the end of the rainbow appeared and the mermaids realized that they had found it. They wished for the monster to be defeated and to never harm the ocean or its creatures again. To their surprise, the monster transformed into a beautiful sea creature, and the rainbow disappeared. The sea creatures, including the mermaids, celebrated the end of the monster's reign of terror. The mermaids returned to their kingdom, where they lived happily ever after, and the ocean was peaceful once again. From that day on, the mermaids would tell the story of the rainbow, the monster, and their wish to future generations. The end of the rainbow became a symbol of hope and a reminder that even the most fearsome monsters can be transformed by the power of love and friendship.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a little girl named Mia. She loved to explore and go on adventures. One day, while wandering through the forest, she came across a beautiful meadow full of colorful flowers. As she approached a group of flowers, she noticed one that was unlike any she had ever seen before. It was a magical flower with shimmering petals that glowed in the sunlight. As she reached for the flower, she noticed a set of mysterious footprints leading into the forest. Curiosity piqued, she followed the footprints until she stumbled upon an enchanted tree. The tree was massive, and its branches seemed to stretch on forever. She could feel a mystical energy emanating from it. As she gazed at the tree, she noticed a small opening at its base. She decided to take a peek and found a secret cave inside. It was dark and a bit spooky, but Mia had always been brave, so she decided to explore. As she entered the cave, she heard a faint rustling sound. Suddenly, a squirrel appeared from behind a rock and offered to guide her through the cave. The squirrel told her that the cave was full of secrets and wonders, but only those with pure hearts could enter and witness its beauty. Mia was amazed and grateful for the squirrel's help. She continued on her adventure until she came across a rainbow bridge. The bridge was made entirely of crystals and rainbows, and it led to a small island in the middle of a lake. On the island, she met a kind-hearted witch who lived in a small cottage. The witch welcomed her warmly and offered her some delicious treats. Mia told her all about her adventure and how she had found the magical flower, followed the mysterious footprints, discovered the enchanted tree, explored the secret cave with the help of the squirrel, and crossed the rainbow bridge. The witch was impressed by Mia's bravery and told her that the flower she had found was rare and special. She also said that the mystical energy of the enchanted tree was said to grant wishes, and the secret cave was a place of healing and rejuvenation. She then gave Mia a special gift and wished her well on her journey home. As Mia made her way home, she couldn't stop thinking about her incredible adventure. She knew that she had found something special and that she would always cherish the memories of her journey. From that day on, she continued to explore and go on adventures, always keeping an open heart and an open mind.
Once upon a time, in a magical winter paradise, there lived two fairy sisters, Twinkle and Sparkle. Twinkle, who was the elder of the two, was known for her boldness and passion for exploration. She was always keen to discover what wonders lay beyond the horizon. Sparkle, on the other hand, was the younger fairy and was renowned for her intelligence and cautiousness. She was always watchful of potential risks and rather stayed close to home. One day, Twinkle persuaded Sparkle to come with her on an amazing journey to explore the winter wonderland. Initially, Sparkle was hesitant, as she was aware that the weather was getting severe and she was scared that they might lose their way. But Twinkle was adamant, and Sparkle eventually gave in, determined to be by her sister's side. As they traveled further into the woods, Sparkle was amazed by the magnificence of the winter wonderland. The sun was beaming, and the snow glittered like jewels under the illumination. She was filled with admiration and marvel, appreciating the loveliness that encircled her. In any case, as the day advanced, the climate began to worsen, and the sisters acknowledged they had gotten lost. The sun had started to dip, and the one-time brilliant and cheerful winter paradise presently looked dark and frightening. Suddenly, Twinkle noticed a little light in the distance. She seized Sparkle's hand and drove her towards it, wanting it would direct them back to safety. As they moved closer, they saw that it was a little cottage, with smoke rising from its chimney. They warily moved closer to the door and pounded. A benevolent old woman opened the door and invited the sisters inside. She tuned into their story and offered to help them discover their way home. She gave them warm covers, hot cocoa, and a guide to manage them on their adventure. The siblings expressed their gratitude to the elderly woman and started their journey in the dark, with the map as their guide. They flew above mountainous peaks, covered with snow, and through valleys of glimmering ice, relying on their individual skills to traverse. Eventually, they made it back home and were welcomed by their companions and family. They recounted their experience and how they had acknowledged each other's uniqueness despite their differences. From that point on, Twinkle and Sparkle were considered the best of pals and the perfect duo. They went on many more experiences together, always helping one another to surpass any troubles that came their way. And in the winter wonderland, they lived joyfully ever after.
Once upon a time, two sisters named Meera and Meena lived in a small village surrounded by thick wood. The two sisters were very close and enjoyed doing things together. One day, when they were playing in the forest, Meera and Meena discovered a little bird that was on the ground, bleeding. They quickly picked up the bird and took it back home with them. They cleaned its wounds, fed it, and took care of it until it returned to full health. When the bird recovered, they released it back into its natural habitat. A couple of days later, the bird returned to the sisters and said thank you. Meera and Meena were astounded and asked if the bird was really speaking. The bird replied, "Yes, I can talk. Your kindness and care encouraged me, and I helped a saint in the forest who gave me the gift of talking." They were so excited to see the talking bird and named it Ramu. From that day on, they became friends with Ramu, the talking bird. Meera and Meena were overjoyed to have a talking bird as a companion. When they chanted the magic word, Ramu would appear and fly around them, chatting with them. Ramu would tell them about its adventures in the forest and the creatures it encountered. The sisters were so excited to listen to all the stories of Ramu. One day when Meera and Meena were playing in the forest, they discovered a lost baby deer. The deer was wounded and looked terrified. Meera and Meena knew they had to do something to help the poor little creature. They chanted the magic word and Ramu appeared. The bird suggested that they take the deer to the saint who had bestowed the gift of speech to him. Meera and Meena picked up the deer and carried it to the saint's hut. The saint was very happy to see the children and the little deer. He took the deer in and treated its injuries. The deer was soon back on its feet and was very grateful to Meera and Meena for helping it. Ramu helped the deer to find its mother. Meera and Meena were very happy that they could help the little deer. They thanked the bird for his suggestion and for being their friend. From that day on, they continued to explore the forest, helping animals in need and enjoying the company of their new friend, the talking bird.